take us through the mental aspect of it from these individuals.
Well, the mental side of it is not feeling sharp, and you can't figure it out.
Right.
You know, you're used to running up and down, box to box, closing people down, getting in the face, and then you're still able to do all the subtleties and all the great passing and the finishing, and then all of a sudden, for some reason, you're not quite as sharp, you don't quite feel as good, everything just becomes a little bit harder. And for me, that's down to mentality, because your training from 2 and 3 years ago will be exactly the same as now.
Right.
They haven't changed the way they've tried to play, so it's nothing to do with the way they're set up. It's just, it wears you down, and eventually it catches up with you. And I think that's what's happening now. And I talked about it the last couple of shows. You know, the game against Tottenham, when they got beat, they were all smiling, because clearly they weren't bothered.
But that was the Carabao Cup game, yeah.
They weren't bothered. But then, after the Champions League game, and then after the weekend, the look on the players' faces, to me, told a story of what's going wrong. You know, staring into space, all of them at the same time, has got what's going on here. So they clearly are not sure what's going on.
You look at that defence, Ali, it's not great.
Right.
Is it that simple?
Well, it doesn't help. And obviously, when we have a conversation about Manchester City and their struggles, then the name of Rodri is brought up and has been brought up for some time now. And of course, they miss Rodri, and of course, they miss his presence. But I would say that at some point, and I suppose that I've been saying this all along, you have to find solutions. And it's the job of the manager, in this case, Pep Guardiola, to find solutions. What has surprised me about Manchester City over the last month or so is that they've looked a team that has been very vulnerable for a long period of time now, that have been getting just by and done just enough to win games, and have sort of lean on other teams being incapable of putting away the many opportunities that they do create against Manchester City in order to get results. Now, over the last couple of weeks, you actually found teams that put their chances away, and now you're in trouble. And still, we haven't seen a difference in terms of the performance, the setup, or the structure of Manchester City. And so I asked the question to Pep Guardiola, what are you doing to address the absence of Rodri? Because he's not coming back, not anytime soon. And it's known by now, if you didn't know it before, you know it by now, that Kovacic, although has many attributes to his game, doesn't have all the attributes that Rodri has. And so what is wrong with putting somebody side by side with Kovacic, where you have two players doing the job of one, what Rodri used to do? What is wrong by that structure of putting two midfielders side by side that give you a little bit more stability defensively, so that you're not always chasing the ball once you lose it? The answer to that from Guardiola has been, well, one of the outside backs tucks in, and now he's going to play in the midfield. My counterpoint to that is, if you lose the ball, now other teams have a natural outlet. You go and hit the space wherever that outside back came from. And that outlet is there, it's available, and readily available for whoever wants to take advantage of it. So, again, if I'm Pep Guardiola, I want to find stability in my team first, so that we're not stretched, so that we're not giving up counter-attack opportunities, and I'm going to trust that I still have enough talent in the attack to create opportunities. But find stability first, find structure first, and they just don't have it.
See, I'm going to put myself in Pep's shoes here, because against Brighton in the first half, they completely dominated. So if I'm Pep, my argument to Ali's point is, well, hold on a minute. We completely dominated Brighton in the first half. Yes, we didn't score the goals we needed to kill the game. So then I guess he has to be able to smell what's happening in the second half, and then go to what Ali's talking about, bringing people in, making it tighter, and not being quite as open. That I think would be my solution. Not to start the game that way, but if you're losing the fight, then you can change it to what Ali was talking about.
And speaking of the solutions that you just mentioned, you used the word solutions. When the game was getting out of their hands against Brighton, I go back to something you just mentioned, Stevie. Blank stares. from Manchester City. The game is getting away from them. You can feel it. We're thousands of miles away. We're watching on television, and you can feel it that it's getting away from them. That now Brighton is creating chances. That they, even before they scored, that they were creating opportunities. It's getting away from you, and there were no solutions coming. Not from the sidelines and not from the players on the field. A lot of blank stares. That's concerning.